Okay, chat. I'm gonna read this one from Wattpad, and I am reading a lot of negative comments on this one of how badly written it is. This is from one of my mods because it's very bad. Like the title is "I'm Coming for You," a Duolingo creepypasta from Wattpad. Okay, I'm gonna read it now. This is the first chapter, learning. The title of the first chapter is learning. Dude, I need to learn Spanish so bad, but I don't know how. I told my friend Carl. Dude, download Duolingo. It's a free app to learn languages in a fun and easy way. He yelled, showing me his phone, where there was a friendly and cute home screen with lots of golden and colored circles. Looks interesting. I'm going to download it, I said, grabbing my phone and installing the app. As soon as I opened it, I fell in love with the way this app taught languages. In 2 days, I was able to say Buenos dias, amigo. Wait, what? 2 days? You can say it in just less than an hour. That's what I said next day at school. Buenos dias, amigo, I told Car. Bonjour, mon ami, he replied. What? It's French. So you're learning French? I asked, surprised. Oui. Is that a yes? Yeah. Oh, genial. And so we continued learning our respective languages with Duolingo. Okay, what kind of writing is this? So there is chapter 2. Chapter 2. The Yeah, there's chapter 2. Slacking off. And there is like 1000 what you call this readers. 1 year later, I was laying down on my bed bored when my phone buzzed next to me and I quickly grabbed it, thinking it was a message from my friend, only to let out a frustrated groan when I realized it was that damn duo owl. It's time for your next Spanish lesson. I dumped the notification and dropped my phone to the floor, not caring about the cracking sound that I heard. Suddenly, my phone buzzed in a stronger way, so strong that I swear I felt the floor trembling a bit. Picking it up with a frown, there was yet another Duolingo notification. These notifications not seem to be working. We will stop sending them for now. Huh? Good for it. I'm fed up of I'm fed up of it bugging me every single day. I know I wanted to learn Spanish, but I've been so lazy lately. I'll do it later. I went to my living room to eat ice cream while watching some random movie with people talking Spanish. Sigh. I wish I could speak Spanish so I didn't have to read the subtitles. While I watched the movie, I swear I felt something watching me. Weird. Oh my god. There is chapter 3. Chapter 3. Trying. Hey Darius, Carl greeted as I stepped into the school. Hey, so how much Spanish have you learned with Duolingo? I can barely say the colors and numbers, but I haven't studied lately because I'm so lazy. Same, I lost my 269 day streak just a month ago. You had a 269 day streak? I asked, surprised. Yeah, he said sadly. I learned already finished the French tree and there's nothing to learn anymore and I'm too lazy to try another app. If only there was a way for me to be inspired and continue learning. Those notifications don't work. They're so annoying. Yep, there has to be more effective way of thinking you inspired other than those notifications. I agree, but I don't think there will be one. Anyway, let's go to class. We went to class and sat at our respective seats while our teacher babbled about equations and all those things that I will never have to use in real life. Carl was helping me practice the colors in Spanish. What color is the whiteboard? Blanco. And the table? Maroon. Excellent. And your shoes? I looked down at my shoes. Negro, black. Correct. But I remember that colors have plural form, so it has to be negros. Alright, I forgot that. The truth is that Carl is Hispanic and he already speaks Spanish, and since he was studying French, then I think he's fluent in French too. Anyway, our classes ended and each of us went to our house. Oh my god, someone still read this stuff despite being badly written. Chapter 4, deciding. Someone knocked on my door and went to open it. It was Carl. Darius, you have to see this. He stepped inside my house and showed me his phone. Introducing Duolingo Push. A giant green owl will find you wherever you are to remind you to complete your daily lesson of whatever language you're learning. What? Let me see that. I grabbed his phone and there was a video of a woman introducing this Duolingo push thingy. And indeed, a giant green duo owl appeared wherever people was to remind them of doing their lesson. That's cool. That way I will never be lazy about doing my Spanish lesson. Yeah, you just have to choose a duo owl to find you wherever you are. There are three of them. He showed me a screen with different three different duo owls. Encourage duo, disappointed duo, and pass aggressive duo. The last one seemed more serious and impossible to ignore, so I decided to buy that one. Using my credit card, a message appeared saying that my purchase was successful. Oh my god, I can't wait, I said excitedly. Yeah, I can't wait to see him. This shall be interesting. Yup, in the meantime, let's practice the numbers. Okay. We sat on the floor and Carl taught me a song in Spanish to memorize the numbers. That's when we heard a knock on the door and we stopped our singing. I wonder who that was. What the hell is this? The hell am I reading right now? Chapter 5, Practicing. We stood up and went to open the door. I gasped as I saw a huge green duo owl standing at the doorway, just like the one in the app. Only that it looked like someone was inside the disguise. But who cares? He looked so cute and so much bigger than I had expected. It's Duo! Hey Duo! Carl greeted. Without asking for permission, Duo stepped into my house and I had to step to the side due to its huge size. Carl and I exchanged weird looks as Duo looked all over the house as if looking for something. What is he doing? Carl whispered to me. I have no idea, I replied. That was until a human hand. Oh my god, this is so creepy. That was until a human hand came out from one of the owl's wings and grabbed my phone. Then Duo walked slowly towards me and handed me my phone. Time for your Spanish lesson, he said in a squeaky voice. We chuckled at the way he spoke, and I took my phone from him. How did he know that I was learning Spanish though, huh? Maybe it's one of his special features to know what language people are learning. I opened the app and went straight to my next lesson, which was adjectives. It was kind of awkward and a bit creepy because this dual was right in front of me the entire time. Oh, I forgot what illuvioso means, I said when I was near the end of the lesson. It means rainy. Carl replied for me. Oh, right. Okay, the day is rainy. I typed the translation of the sentence and after seeing the green tick saying that my answer was correct, Carl and I cheered while Duo just continued standing there. Buen trabajo, Carl said. What? That means good work. Oh, okay. Thanks. After that, we watched as Duo walked towards my door and opened it, closing it behind him once he stepped out. Weird. Huh? Not even a thank you, Carl said. I know, maybe he doesn't talk a lot. You're right. Anyway, wanna practice those adjectives? I don't think so. Let's better play some video games, I suggested. My brain was too tired already to practice more adjectives. Okay, whatever you want, he said. We went to play Mortal Kombat 11. He picked Cabal and I picked Scarlet. I did a fatality on him after he lost and he got disappointed. I must admit, I felt kind of anxious and a bit scared of seeing Duo again tomorrow. Weird. Okay, this is so funny. What kind of what? Because Mentor Shar, hi. Because I have a challenge that I have to read a badly written Wattpad story. And it's really badly written. No, I don't think so. Yeah, it seems like the one who is studying the Duolingo app did something. So this is the chapter 6. Like every chapter is so short. That's why it's very very fast when you read it. Chapter 6, studying. I was boringly doing my work at physics class. That was until a huge shadow covered the sun next to the window where I was sitting and turned to see what the hell that was. I screamed when I saw that the giant duo owl was looking at me through the window, his face pressed onto it and looking at me with those big eyes. The rest of my classmates were so confused about who the hell that was. While I already knew what he was here for, he wanted me to complete my daily Spanish lesson, but really, now? Couldn't he see I was at school? The teacher walked towards my seat, looking at Duo Owl and shooing him away as if he was a wild creature, and in a way he was. Go away. Go away. We don't have time for your pranks. Whoever is inside that disguise, she yelled at him. But Duo wasn't moving. The teacher continued to yell at him until I knew that there was only a way to make him go. Teacher, let me handle this. What are you gonna do? She asked me. I pulled out my phone and went to the Duolingo app, going to the next lesson, which was family. What are you? Shh, I need a concentration, teacher. I interrupted her, translating all the sentences and choosing the right answer. One of those exercises, I had to say the sentence exactly as the robotized voice. This is going to be awkward. My pronunciation is not the best. Mi abuela come una naranja, the voice said. Now it was my time to speak. Mi abule come una naranja. Oh my god, what kind of writing is this? I said. Everyone laughed at me and I blushed. At least my answer was correct and I went to the next sentence. Something odd was that I had to translate a very weird sentence into Spanish. The sentence read, Duo is coming for your family. That was odd. I guess it meant that Duo wanted my family to learn Spanish too or something like that. Unfortunately, while I tried to translate the sentence to Spanish, I used the wrong word and a blood red message appeared on the screen saying that it was incorrect. I could feel the window shaking a bit as if Duo was mad at me for failing the sentence. I got more scared and put the right answer this time with shaky fingers. When I finished, I let out a sigh of relief that I didn't know I was holding when I watched as Duolingo turned around and walked away. That was weird, my teacher said. Welcome back. Anyway, everyone go back to class. Every time everyone got back to their work and I just sat there with each passing day, Duo is scaring me more. Oh my I we don't know yet. We don't know yet because one of my moderators just like forwarded it to me and she wanted me to do a Donothon challenge and read a very badly written Wattpad story. Okay, chapter 7, returning. I'm serious, dude, no lying. That huge duo owl was standing right next to my window while I was studying. Can you believe it? I told Carl as we walked down the halls. Damn, this Duolingo push thing is really serious, he said. Yeah, and can you believe that? I had to say a whole sentence in Spanish in front of everyone. It sounded as if I was saying a ritual to invoke the devil. He laughed. Calm down. He just wants their learners learn the language they're studying successfully. What is wrong with that? I know, but he still shouldn't have appeared there and scared the shit out me like that. Maybe he didn't want to do it on purpose. In fact, I'm thinking that I should buy one of those owls for myself so he can remind me of practicing my French tree. What do you think? I don't know. If you want to find him at unexpected times of the day, then fine. He chuckled, but I wouldn't buy the aggressive one. I'd buy the disappointed one. I couldn't resist looking at his sad face, and I would complete my lesson to make him happy. Whatever, it's the same thing. It's weekend, so Carl decided to spend some time at my house, and we went there after school. When we were at my house, we decided to ask for pizza. So I took the phone and I ordered a giant pizza. A few minutes later, the doorbell rang and I went to open it, only to find a very nervous pizza guy holding the pizza box and a huge duo owl standing behind him. What? I thought I completed my lesson already. The pizza guy handed me the box and gave him the money. Then he scurried away like a frightened cat on his motorcycle. The two owls stepped into my house and we eyed him weirdly. I thought you had completed your lessons already, Carl asked me. I did. I don't know hell what the heaven he's doing here, I said before I could say hell, and Duo got angry. We just stood there looking at each other, wondering what the hell he wanted from me now. Chapter 8. Regretting. We stared at each other for the next 5 minutes until Duo spoke in the squeaky voice again. Time for another Spanish lesson, he chirped. What? But I completed already, I yelled, placing the pizza on the table. The more you study, the faster you'll learn. Now go for another Spanish lesson, he said. And I grew even more scared when his voice started to show a tone of irritation. I looked at Carl uncertainly. I think you better obey him, he muttered. I threw my arms in the air and took out my phone. For the second time, I went to the app and to translate even more sentences. I must say that indeed I had learned quite a lot these few days, but Duo should be a little more friendly. Oh well, that's what I get for buying the passive aggressive Duo. Done, see? I told him, showing him my phone that said that the lesson was complete. Now, will you leave us alone? Duo growled and turned around to leave, not before he turned to give me a last glance and slammed the door shut as he stepped out. Seriously, what's his problem? I think I'm starting to regret my decision about buying a tool for myself, Carl said. I nodded I nodded and sighed, grabbing the giant box of pizza, turning the TV on so we could watch a movie. I suddenly wanted to wait. I suddenly wanted to check this one. Duolingo app. Intruding. Wait, how many chapters is this one? 16 chapters? There is 6 months later? And so it was like that during these past months, Duo Owl will appear at my at unexpected times of the day, and no matter wherever he appeared, I had to do my lesson right there, whether at the street, at school, in the bathroom. Yes, he once barged into my bathroom while I was taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. What is Browns to the Super? Okay, I get it. He up I understand what he's trying to talk about. He appeared like 2 or 3 times a day, and it was so irritating. But well, at least I must say that I learned quite a lot. I even finished my Spanish tree, and now there's nothing more to study. I was now able to make a basic conversation with Carl in Spanish. As I said, there was nothing more to learn in Duolingo because I completed the entire tree already. So I don't know what Duo is gonna do about that. Maybe he will congratulate me and give me some sort of diploma or something. Right now, I was browsing calmly through Instagram on my sofa when I felt something touching my shoulder. I tried to wipe it off, thinking it was just a spider. But then my hand came into contact with some fluffy green texture. That's when I jumped up from the sofa as if I had been stung by a bee in my ass. To see that damn duo owl right behind my sofa. How the hell did he get here? What the How did you get here? What do you want? I demanded. It's time to practice your Spanish, he said in that squeaky voice that I had learned to hate with the passing of time. Are you a damn ass or what? Can't you see that I already finished my tree? There's nothing new to learn. But there's a lot of practice, he said, his voice getting that irritated tone as he took slow steps towards me. I took a few back. I already know everything that's in the app. I can practice later. Just let me relax and forget about the world of language learning at least for a day, will you? Duo remained silent for a second, and even though he had that smiling face, I could tell he was angry from the inside. I started to feel nervous as Duo continued to give steps towards me until his huge body was inches away from mine. I gulped. Go on, keep scrolling social media. Let's see how much Spanish that can teach you, he said before he lifted his wing and slapped me hard across the face. I fell to the floor looking up at him in disbelief as he walked towards the door and walked out, leaving it open. What the hell just happened? That's the end of the chapter. Why? No, I don't know if gonna. I don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna turn it into smart. One of my mods just forwarded to me. Um, no, I can't read. I can't read it live. I can't. I was stopped. No. The context of the story, William, is that the person in this story wanted to learn Spanish. He installed the Duolingo app on his phone, and then he ordered like there's three different kinds of owls to remind you of your lessons so that you won't forget them, so that you will become very responsible of studying those. But he ordered the most highest level one, which is the aggressive one, and now the aggressive one is always barging inside his home to remind him of, you should like do the Spanish lesson, you idiot, something like that. So we're on the chapter 10. Okay, this is 16 chapters. I can't believe this is 16. But each chapter is so short. That's it. Chapter 10, complaining. Darius, are you? Oh my god, I heard Carl entering my house, then running towards me as he saw me lying on the floor, crying while covering my face with my hands. Darius, are you okay? So Darius is the one who brought the aggressive owl thing from the Duolingo app. Darius, are you okay? He asked me worriedly, removing my hands from my face and gasping at seeing my bruised cheek. What happened? Who did this to you? I shook my head. It's nothing. No, tell me. Did someone come to your house to steal your things? The only thing that came to my house was that damned owl, I finally said. He gasped again. Did Duo did this to you? I nodded. Why? It's my fault. I should have practiced my Spanish when he told me to. But it's just that I finished my tree already and I don't know what to study anymore. I know everything already. I can practice whenever I want now. Hell, I can even use another app to learn. It's not your fault. Duo shouldn't have treated you that way. That's a crime. Right now, we're going to the Duolingo offices to cancel the service. Really? Yes. If we don't stop him now, who knows what will he do later. Come on, he said, lifting me to my feet. I wiped my tears and nodded, following Carl to his car and driving to the Duolingo offices. Once we stepped through the big building, a woman greeted us. Welcome, bienvenidos, bienvenue, willkommen. Can we help you? Sorry if I mispronounce some languages. She asked happily. We're here to cancel the Duolingo push service. Carl spoke. Oh, okay, please follow me, she said. We followed her upstairs to an office where she sat in front of a computer. Did something bad happen with your duo? Yes, this, I said, turning my head so she could see the bruise on my cheek. Oh my god, did duo really do that? Yeah, after I didn't want to practice when I had finished my tree already, I explained. Hmm, what duo did you buy? She asked. The the passive aggressive one. Then there's the reason. Sometimes that duo can be a little aggressive. But reaching to the point of hurting people? Carl asked in disbelief. Yeah, he only wants that their learners learn the language they're studying. That's our purpose with this new feature. So, are you promoting violence and violation of privacy in order for people to learn languages? Carl asked, getting angry. If they learn successfully, then yes, the woman replied. Vayase a la mierda. Oh, I know that. It's a bad word. Mierda is a bad word. Carl yelled and the woman gasped. Carl grabbed my wrist and dragged me out of the office, climbing into his car. What did you tell her? I asked him. You don't want to know, I sighed. So what are we going to do now? I don't know, Darius. I don't know. Oh my god. She just cursed the lady. Oh my god. We're on the 11th chapter now, chat. I don't, should I continue this? Hi, Roro. Yeah, you speak good Spanish. Oh, but you're Portuguese. Yeah, oh yeah, Portuguese and Spanish sounds the same sometimes. Okay. Chapter 11. Frightening. Okay, what's happening now? Carl stopped his car next to my house, but I was unsure of going to that place now. What if I find this creep inside again? Carl? Yeah? Could you please stay the night at my place? I'm afraid of finding this creep again. I admitted. Of course, he agreed without hesitation as we both climbed out of the car and into my house. We checked every nook and cranny of the house to see if that damned owl could be hiding somewhere, but unfortunately there was nothing. What do you say if we make some popcorn and watch Ready Player One? Carl suggested. Yeah, sounds cool. I'll be back in a while. I'm going to the bathroom. Okay. I stepped inside the bathroom. Wait, what? To drain my lizard? Drain my lizard? Drain my lizard, Chad? What is this? I don't. Yeah, that's the first time I heard it. And once I was done, I washed my hands, taking a look at my reflection. I watched horrified as I saw something green standing behind me and my blood ran cold. I turned around sharply only to find an empty space. Huh? I guess my imagination is playing tricks on me now. This owl has driven me insane. However, when I turned to look back at the mirror, I was way more horrified at seeing that my reflection wasn't there anymore. Instead, there was that damn huge duo owl, except this one was a dark blue color with eyebrows furrowed and blood running down its eyes. I froze. I know what you tried to do. I know what you tried to do. He spoke in a monstrous voice that sent a shiver down my spine. You won't get rid of me that easily. Then he started laughing hysterically. Go away! I yelled, my hand hitting the mirror so hard and breaking it into pieces. I cried in pain as some shards were stabbed into my hand and I collapsed to the floor, clutching my bloodied hand to my chest. Darius, what was that? Carl stepped into the bathroom, gasping when he found me lying on the floor. What happened? I saw him. He's here! I whispered, my eyes roaming around the room, fearing that I would find him again. Where? In the mirror. He looked at the mirror and then back at me with a confused face. Great. Now he will think I'm some sort of lunatic. Wait here, don't move, he said, walking out of the bathroom. A few seconds later, he came back with a first aid kit. He knelt beside me and took my hand, carefully removing the shards, and I cried in pain every time he did that. He added some stinging substance to the wound and then wrapped my hand in a bandage. I'm not crazy, Carl, I said. I saw him. He was there, I swear. I believe you, he said calmly before he pulled me into a hug and I hugged him back, crying on his shoulder. There has to be a way of stopping him. I saw the comment. Why can't he just uninstall the app? And then someone commented, he probably has an iPhone, so if he deletes it, it doesn't delete, just goes to his app library. Yeah, I was about to ask, why doesn't like uninstall the Duolingo app if the owl is scaring him so much? Okay, four chapters to go, but yeah, four chapters to go. So chapter 12 coming. That night, I was so traumatized by what I saw in the bathroom that I couldn't concentrate on the movie. I was literally shaking and just thinking of that. When the movie finished, Carl and I went to my bedroom. I didn't even want to sleep just by thinking that damned owl would appear outside my window or something. Look, I have an idea, Carl said. What? I think I know how you can get rid of him. How? Uninstall the Duolingo app. At okay. Okay. I stared at him for a while. Do you really think that it will work? Yeah, if you uninstall it, the service will be gone too. Duo will see that you don't have the app anymore and will leave you alone. I don't know. What if he gets angry? He won't. He has to understand. I was a bit unsure about this, but after a while I thought that I should give it a shot. So I took out my phone and went to the apps to uninstall it. The screen showed that it was uninstalling the app and it remained like that for nearly 5 minutes as if the app was so big to uninstall. I thought that the screen had frozen like that, but then it was finally uninstalled. Done. You'll see that will fix the problem, Carl told me. I hope so. We took off our shoes and laid down on my king-size bed, each one taking their part of the bed. We said our good nights and I turned off the lamp on the bedside table. Wake me up if something happens, Carl told me. Okay, I said, closing my eyes as I fell into a deep sleep. But around 3 to or 4 a.m., a buzzing sound woke me up. I opened my eyes slowly, noticing that the sound had been my phone. I decided to grab it just to see what was that notification. I let my eyes to adjust to the bright light of my phone, and I felt my heart dropping to my stomach as I read the notification. It seems like you forgot your Spanish lesson. You know what happens now. A tapping sound was heard on my window, and I turned to see what that was. My blood ran cold as the glistening light of the moon shone down on the most horrific thing that I had seen in my life. There was a dark blue duo with blood running down his eyes, floating, with its face pressed into my window. I'm coming for you, he said in that monstrous voice that sent a shiver down my spine. The window started to crack, and I knew that it was going to break at any second if I didn't do something now. Oh my god, I'm not gonna install this app if this is going to happen to me. Chapter 13, Hiding. I was paralyzed for a second. The fear had literally paralyzed me to the point where I didn't even want to breathe. That was until I decided to do something and I fell off the bed with a loud thud. I quickly ran to the other side of the bed and shook Carl's body violently. Carl, wake up! I whispered, yelled. What? He said sleepily. He's here! What? Who? He asked, still sleepy. Duo, look! I said, pointing to the cracking window. Oh shit! He cursed, jumping from the bed. What do we do? I asked desperately. Let's hide, he said, grabbing my hand and dragging me out of my bedroom. We started running through the darkness of my house as the loud sound of my window breaking ran in my ears, followed by a very angry growl. Faster! Carl whispered as we descended down the stairs, and I almost slipped, but I managed to keep my balance and we continued running. Luckily, we were barefoot, so we didn't make too much noise with our steps. But Duo's steps were so heavy that I could hear the ceiling cracking in every spot where he walked. We arrived to a little hollow on the wall where I saved some cleaning utensils. We crouched and hid in the small hollow, which luckily was spacious enough for the both of us to fit. We tried not to touch any of the utensils or else they would make a whole lot of noise. I was shaking so much and I could tell Carl was just as scared as I was. Our bodies were brushing together in the confined space, and I could feel my heart thumping in my ears as those heavy footsteps were still heard in the upper rooms. We should call the police, I stuttered due to my shakiness. You're right, he whispered, placing a hand in his pants, only to curse at not finding anything there. Shit, I left my phone in your bedroom. Me too, damn it. Carl shushed me. Oh my god. No, they're doomed. They're doomed right now. They're doomed. I don't even know someone after my generation. Yeah, Duolingo journey. I'm reading the chat right now. Okay, we continue chat. The footsteps had stopped, and for a moment I thought that Duo had finally left us alone. That was until a very creepy voice resonated all over my house. Where are you? Something like that. I jumped as the footsteps now sounded like running. The sound of things falling to the floor and breaking was heard. He was so angry, so damn angry. We should escape, Carl said shakily in a very low voice. How? Through your door. Somewhere else. It's closed, so I know we'll make it. We'll run to the police station and tell them to come here to stop him. It sounded like a nice plan. The hard thing now was to run out of here very calmly until getting to my door, then just pray for not get caught by this beast. Very slowly, Carl and I started to make our way out of the small space, trying to make as few noise as possible. But me, being the clumsy fool that I am, my leg accidentally hit a broom and it fell to the floor, making a very loud noise. I mentally smacked myself and we both froze in place, hoping that Duo hadn't heard that. Found you! He said from upstairs as his steps started to run down the stairs. Run! Carl yelled, grabbing my hand, and we both started running at the light speed towards my door, with Duo following close behind us. Just as Carl opened the door and ran out, something grabbed my ankle and I fell to the ground. Then I was being pulled back into my house by a very strong force. Darius! Carl yelled, but before he could step back inside the house, the door slammed shut by itself. Next thing I knew was that everything went black. That's happened to him. Oh, good night. Good night, William. Thank you for being here. Thank you for lurking while going to bed. Okay, chapter 14. Chapter 14 now. Translating? The title of chapter 14 is Translating? I woke up with something slapping me hard across the face, followed by hysterical laughing. I found myself in my dark living room, tied to a chair. I tried to struggle free, but I was paralyzed again at finding that huge, dark Duolingo owl, blood running down its eyes, holding my phone in one wing and a knife in the other. My heart increased in speed only by seeing that. What is he going to do? Where is Carl? You thought that you would get rid of me so easily just by uninstalling my app? If only you hadn't been so lazy. There wasn't need of any of this to happen. Duo spoke in that monstrous voice. I completed my lessons every time you appeared. I even finished my tree. You should have left me alone since then. Shut up, he yelled, slapping me again. I don't care if you have finished your tree already. You still had to practice. But I already practiced everything in your damn app. I wanted to learn new topics, not only the same ones over and over and over again. It gets boring. Well, so you want to learn something new? Then let's see how much you can learn with these lessons that I had prepared for you, he said, turning on my phone and going to the Duolingo app. He put the phone right in my face where it showed a very long sentence that I had to translate, using very advanced words that I had never studied. It didn't even let me see the meaning of the words. Are you crazy? How am I going to know all of that? I need to know the meaning of the words first. I decided to make it this way so it will be less boring. He mocked me, laughing again. And listen, you better answer correctly if you don't want to suffer. By every incorrect answer, I'll make a cut with this knife in every part of your body. If you answered all of them correctly, you'll be free, and if you run out of lives, I'm afraid I'll have to end with yours. I was scared to death. His app had now turned into a deadly game. How am I going to answer this correctly? I only have 3 lives. Come on, start now and don't test my patience. How? My hands are tied. I don't care. Use your nose or your tongue to type. Is he serious? I shook my head as I leaned forward and tried to type the answer with my nose. I came to a word which meaning I didn't understand, and I had to rest as I type a word that I believe it was the right one, only to have a blood red message appear on the screen saying that my answer was incorrect. I told you. Duo lifted the knife and made a deep cut in my cheek. I cried in pain, blood running down my cheek and staining my shirt. Next one, come on. I read the sentence before bringing my nose to the screen, staining the phone with the blood that spilled out of my cheek. Fortunately, I answered correctly the next 3 questions, almost missing one by a very slight grammar mistake. But by the next one I answered incorrectly, a new cut was created on my right leg, making me cry more. Then there was another one on my arm when I answered yet another one incorrectly. Typing with my nose wasn't an easy thing. I made a lot of typos and I had to delete them until the sentence was clear, making me so exhausted. The cuts on my body weren't helping either. Now I had no lives, but the game wasn't over yet. Another incorrect one and I would be dead. I saw my death in the last sentence, which was a long one, where I had to translate from English to Spanish. There was a word that I didn't know how to say in Spanish. This is it, it's the end. Come on, answer it, he demanded. I risked everything as I typed the answer with my nose, crying when I heard the sound that my answer was incorrect. Duo growled angrily. You dumb idiot! I told you you'd be dead. Duo lifted my head, making me look into those angry bloodshot eyes. He placed the cold blade of the knife on my jugular vein, making me tremble with fear. Say your last words, he laughed. I looked at him hatedly. Putrede! Ha! Well, at least you managed to learn something, he said, lifting the knife, and I closed my eyes. And then the stabbing sound rang in my ears, but I didn't feel any pain. What the hell is this? What the hell did I just read right now? Chapter 15. Escaping. I opened my eyes to see what was the reason of the strange stabbing, without pain, only to widen my eyes at seeing a bloodied knife protruding from Duo's stomach. Duo let out an ear-piercing scream before he fell dead to the floor to reveal the person who had stabbed him from the back. I was more than relieved to find that it was Carl. Carl! He looked at me and became worried for for the cuts on my body. But before he could walk towards me, something very strange happened. That the entire house started to shake, and I watched horrified as Duo's dead body lit up in fire. Hurry, we have to get. Welcome back. Hurry, we have. Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna do some roulettes maybe later. I'm just gonna finish this one. I d- yeah, because you've been sleeping so very late. That's why. Okay, see you later. This is so weird. This is weirding me out right now. Hurry, we have I will continue this chat. Carl said out of the knife from the, oh my god. So he could use it to cut the ropes that restrained my hands and feet. Come on, he said, grabbing my hands and standing me up from the chair, only to have lots of pieces of burning ceiling fall on top of me. Soon the fire was being fed up by all the furniture in my house. No, Carl exclaimed, trying to get off the pieces of concrete off me. Carl, just leave me here. Are you crazy? I didn't come here to see you die. I came here to save you. I know, and I'm thankful that you came to save me from dying in the wings of that beast. If I save you from that beast, then I'm going to save you from getting roasted in this fire, he said as he continued throwing pieces of concrete off my body. Please, Carl, don't bother. I appreciate what you're doing for me, but I don't want you to die either. So please, just leave me here and save your I said I'm not going to leave you here. You've been my best friend since childhood. You won't die by the actions of this crazy owl. You still have a whole life ahead, so please, Darius, help me to take you out of here. He then proceeded to continue removing the debris from my body. He really did not want to lose me, and I did want that either, so I was going to fight for our friendship. I decided to help him by moving my body little by little out of the disaster. The cuts in my body hurt like hell, but I needed to fight the pain if I wanted to survive. You're almost there. Carl encouraged me when half of my body was out of it. He took my hands and helped me to get out fully. I stood up to my feet as more pieces of concrete fell from above. We ran as fast as possible until Carl kicked open the door, breaking it, and we were finally out into the cold night air. We turned around and watched as my house crumbled and burned into pieces. I was still shaking after everything that had happened. Carl wrapped his arms around me, pulling me into a hug. I hugged him back as a sign of my thankfulness for taking me out of that place and saving my life. It's okay. Everything is going to be fine. Some firefighters arrived shortly after to extinguish the flames. I was still clutching to Carl for dear life, as I am afraid that damn owl would be back again. Finally, it was over. Or that's what I thought when I saw him again, right behind Carl's shoulder. I panicked. He's right behind you, I screamed. Carl quickly turned to look behind him, and so did the firefighters. Then Carl turned to look at me with a confused expression. Darius, there's nothing there. Final chapter. My God. I can't believe I finished this. The epilogue. Carl's POV. Not everything was joy and happiness after that as I expected it would be. Darius started to see things around him, mostly these owls. It was as if everything he experienced traumatized him for life. But I had hoped that he would get back to normal after a few days. I just had to be patient. After the incident, the Duolingo push service was officially cancelled in all the countries of the world. The ones behind the creation of the service were taken to prison. No other would be harassed by one of those owls ever again. Driving through the road, I turned a corner until I was finally driving past the big gates of a mental hospital. Once I was inside the institution, I made my way to one of the receptionists. I'm here to see Darius, please. The woman nodded, and I followed her through some corridors. This place was filled with voices and sounds that scared the hell out of me. I was finally in front of Darius' room, blocked by metal bars. He was sitting on bed, looking all around him. I didn't like seeing him there. It was as if he was some sort of prison. The woman gave us some privacy as I started to call his name. He snapped his head towards me, a huge and kind of creepy smile on his face as he walked closer to me. Carl! Hey Darius, how are you? Están todos lados estos bujos, pero no les tengo miedo, son todos mi amigo ahora, he said. They're everywhere, these owls, but I'm not afraid of them. They all are my friends now. I sigh. Ever since he spent some days in this hospital, he has started to speak on incredibly fluent Spanish for an unknown reason. He just refuses to speak in his native language. Why don't you talk to me in English? Why para que habla inglés? El español es un idioma hermoso. Lo aprendí gracias a Duo. Why to speak English? Spanish is a beautiful language. I learned it thanks to Duo. I know it's a beautiful language, but I don't know. Hearing you speak Spanish like that is kind of creepy. It's as if you were a totally different person. Sigue siendo yo. Nada ha cambiado, solo el idioma que hablo. Um, I'm still myself. Nothing has changed. Only the language I speak. You know what? You could speak French as good as my Spanish. You just have to come inside here with me. With my old friends will help you. He said as he stretched his arm to take my hand through the bars. But I shook my head, withdrawing my hand from his. No, there's no point in learning French now. Ever since all of this happened, I just want to forget everything about learning languages. I never thought that such a simple thing as that would lead to this. I wanted to learn French because I was planning to go on a trip to Paris someday and even take you with me, but not anymore. Not when you're like this. I said sadly, looking down at the floor. We can still do that. Just come here with me, with my owl friends. We'll teach you everything you need to know. He speaks in a fluent Spanish and insisted. Stop mentioning those fucking owls. God damn it. I'm sick of those horrible animals, I yelled. Don't you dare talk to my friends like that. You don't understand what they have done for me. He speaks in fluent Spanish. Yes, I understand. They have corrupted you. They have changed you in a bad way. But I'm still hoping that someday you'll go back to being the one you used to be. I hope that whatever they do to you in this hospital really works because I don't like at all the way you are right now. I said, turning around to leave. Carl, come back. You can't leave me here alone. Listen to me. He yelled hysterically as some doctors rushed to his cell to calm him down, speaking in Spanish. I left the hospital and just climbed into my car. I know that one day he will be fine. Maybe not tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, but hopefully he will forget everything about those damned owls, and if possible, everything he learned about Spanish. But I don't want to hear him to speak that language again. The language that Duo taught him. The end. Okay, the writer said that this started off as a simple joke, then turned out to be a full cliche horror story on Wattpad. I didn't expect it would get 183 reads so fast. Oh my gosh, say thanks. Oh my god. I just finished a 16 chapter story. What the hell? I will never ever read that one again. Oh my god, I have to Why are you waiting for it, mentor? What? No, no, no. Okay, chat. I'm finished reading it now. But there's another badly written story that I was forwarded to, that my one of my mods forwarded to me. But I'm not gonna read it because she said that this is another level, so I won't. She warned me about it. Thank you, chat, for listening to my stupid reading Wattpad badly written story. So that's it. Hello, Mentor Cars and Roro. It was interesting. Actually, I know the Duolingo app because every time I play the game, there is suddenly like Duolingo app being promoted on the apps that I'm playing. Wait, where is this? And I am dancing with the Lugi. And I am on Adamanto. I think I should go back now to Sarg. It was interesting. Who would have thought learning the Duolingo app will turn into a horror creepy story in the end? This badly written story sponsored by Duolingo. I don't know how many. Wait, let me check. How many people have downloaded the app? Let me see. I am now curious. What? But sadly, he's part of the company. That's scary.